Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Cyrene has just officially released my most awaited character of Amphoris, is finally here as the character, and of course, as a very unique support. You know, what better thing to do right now than to try her out in a bunch of teams. So today we will be trying her out in 3 different DPS teams. That being Castorice, Phainon, as well as Mydei. Unfortunately, no one next on this account, so can't test it out. And although we could test out Evernight, I actually want to save that for a separate video once I unlock the brand new RMC form, because I've been so busy that I just haven't had time to go forward with the Amphoris quest in 3.6. I feel like I bring this up every video, but it's actually paining me. So yeah, these are the 3 teams we're going to be testing out. We're going to be starting off with Castorice on the first half, and then later on we'll be bringing Cyrene to the second half with Phainon alongside Cerydra as well as Heng PT. And then we're going to be swapping that out for a Mydei alongside Cyrene Sunday as well as Hyacine. So yeah, those are the 3 teams we're going to be trying out. With that being said, let's just hop right into it. All limited characters here are E0S0, but if you want to pull any units in Hyacine, then I have a perfect thing for you, and that's today's sponsor, lootbar.gg. You can use Lootbar to top up on your favorite games like Honkai, Terrae, or Genshin Impact and save up to 25%, along with great value offers like the all-in-one bundle, guaranteed limited and rerun character bundles, and the limited 6,480 Oniric shards pack that lasts for the first week of the brand new version. If I were to buy the 3,280 Oniric shards and get double with the top-up bonus, all I have to do is enter in my UID, region, and go to top up now, and they typically arrive in less than a minute. Creators like DuckTV and Jello Impact are also collaborating with Lootbar, so they are trustworthy, and they also have thousands of positive reviews on Trustpilot. Also, new users can get 10% off, and returning users can get up to 8% off in the first week of the new version. So be sure to check out Lootbar with the link in the description. Back to the video. Alright, and here we are on the first half with our Castorice. This is as premium as a team can get. I am very lucky to have been able to get all of these characters. Now, of course, like I said, I am free to play. I have never spent anything on this game ever. Honestly, in Amphoris, we just got decently lucky. To be fair, Hyacine actually took us 160 pulls. Evernight, I think we just won the 50-50 at 80, I believe. Then when it comes to Cyrene, we also got her at about 70, and then Castorice, we also just won the 50-50 for about a pity. So actually, when it comes to this team, we didn't actually even get any earlies, to be honest. Although I'm just very lucky that I was able to pull for every single 5-star that I wanted in Amphoris. On this account, we did skip a Nexa as well as Herta. We did get lucky on Cerydra and Hyacine. To be fair, we got those in 40 pulls each and won the 50-50 on both. Okay, unfortunately, I wasn't able to use our ultimate there before Castorice's turn. We were just 2% off there. Also, I do want to keep track of this damage. So right now, we're dealing about 600k. Once we go ahead and use all of Cyrene's skills, though, we should be dealing a lot more damage, especially once we have the 200% charged dragon. Okay, just go ahead and go for some nice Evernight damage as well. And then, of course, we'll be buffing Evernight as well. Now, the thing is, I do want to say that this card... Oh, also, actually, wait. Now we get our ult. And, we need to talk about these animations real quick, because, oh my god, these are the best entire animations on the entire game. Give her her ring, and then we can ult our Castorice, and we can also ult our Evernight. And there we go. From now on, we can also start using our Cyrene also as a bit of a sub DPS as well. There we go. So she's gonna hit for 169k into 2 targets. You know what? We'll take it. It's not too bad. I'm pretty sure this normal basic attack doesn't end up doing that much damage if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, only 20k. Slightly stinky. I actually wish that did a bit more damage, but oh well, what can we do? Anyway, let's just go ahead and charge up as much new blood as we can. Of course, we do now have the 200% limit. Okay, we can also go ahead and use our Evernight ult here, because we do want to clear this cycle. We do want to end up zero cycling this, because this will help us to save some time. I fat-fingered Castorice's ultimate there. Okay, that is not ideal. The one thing I will say is that this team is a bit skill point intensive at the beginning, but after that it should be fine. We do actually get another Cyrene ultimate, which is nice, but for the time being we're just gonna sit on that for a second. And now we get to use our dragon. This is 190% instead of 200%, but let's see, how much damage do we deal into 5 targets? The answer is 1.5 million, which is pretty damn huge. We can also go ahead and use this, so a nice 100 you know what, we'll take 113k into single target off of our Cyrene. Nearly 200k there from our Evernight into single target as well. You know, this team isn't very known for single target. Most of these characters here are best in AoE, although of course Cyrene does make Castorice actually a bit better in single target, which is nice. If you added an Evernight E1, that would also pair pretty insane, but obviously we're only looking at E0S0 here. Okay, 5 targets on Evernight, 245k. Unfortunately, we didn't have our ultimate up there, but there's not much we can do about that. Go ahead and skill. We don't quite get our Neverwing here. Let's just go ahead and deal some damage with our Cyrene as well. We deal 168k into 5 targets. We will definitely go ahead and take that. 9% off from getting our dragon. Also, what I really like about how Cyrene works is that just whenever you use her normal skills, whether it's buffing an ally or doing damage herself, it will give Hyacine her buff, which I actually really appreciate. I think that makes her sustain actually even better than it already was, even though she was never struggling with sustain in the first place. And then also it just lets her generate a bit more new butt as well, which is nice, and maybe increases the damage. I'm not all that certain. Anyway, I'm expecting a big hit here from our Evernight because we do have 33 stacks of Memoria here, and yes, we do. We hit for 728k, which is pretty damn crazy. Go ahead and actually no, we're not going to be using Neverwing yet because obviously we want to wait for the 200%. When it comes to the Tribute killer I did when this MLC first came out, we did clear in 2 cycles. It seems like we're going to go for 2 cycles again. I will say this one's probably a bit more comfortable. So, you know, if that one was closer to 3 cycles, whereas this one is like about, I would expect, the middle of 2 cycles. I don't think we're going to need to do a second rotation. I think we will finish this in a singular rotation. Also, nice supplementary damage there from our Cyrene as well. Okay, we deal 750k here on Evernight, and then we are going to be and then let's see how much we deal with Cyrene. Sorry, not Cyrene, Castorice rather. The answer is, okay, we've already done 880k before detonating her dragon, and the final answer is 1.5 million damage. Again, pretty damn insane. So yeah, this is actually the same clear speed as Tribute. I mean, slightly faster, but not enough to make a cycle difference, although I do feel like in future scenarios where it's slightly more single target, or where Castorice isn't as good, then I do expect the Cyrene team to actually be doing a bit better than Tribute, especially at E0. But yeah, with that being said, let's just go ahead and, you know what, the man is on screen now, so let's go ahead and move into the Phainon run, I guess. Alright, and here we are now on Phainon with the correct team this time. Go ahead and use all of our stuff here. As you can see, we actually once again managed to 2-cycle using Castorice. That was with the Tribute team. We just about got it, so yeah, like I said, not a huge difference between the two. But now we want to focus on Phainon, so we're just going to go ahead and use our skill here on Cyrene to get as many stacks on her as we can. Use our ultimate for shielding on our Heng. Now, unfortunately, Heng isn't as good now without Sunday in this team, so I actually feel like Heng might actually be better off with someone like a Nexa than with Phainon nowadays. Although he does give an attack buff, which is always going to be appreciated anyway. So now what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to skill on Cerydra, and then skill again on Phainon as well. Skill on Cyrene as well. Okay, okay, Cerydra's shield is gone, but we will be refreshing it here, which is nice. Now we can go ahead and basic to get some SP back, and because our SP is actually a bit low, what we're going to go ahead and do here is if we basic attack on Cerydra, and then we can skill on Phainon, which will bring us up to, oh, okay, that is not ideal. We were supposed to get Cyrene's ultimate here, if I'm not mistaken. So that's gonna suck a bit. We're gonna have to make sure we don't trigger. Okay, actually, fine. Phainon won't be going for a while, so actually this isn't the problem. Okay, well then let's go ahead and basic attack on our Heng here. And now, once we use Heng's ultimate, we can go ahead and use Cyrene's ultimate, and this will allow us to go ahead and use, okay, once again, have to use that amazing animation on the first ultimate, which I absolutely love. Now we can go ahead and support our Phainon, and then we're also gonna go ahead and support Cerydra as well. And now we can go ahead and ult on our Phainon as well, and we should be staying in it for a very, very long time. She will do a bit of damage here, but that it's actually not going to do all that much considering the fact that, you know, she basically has no buffs in this team. Anyway, let's go ahead and drop some meteors on our Phainon. 773k, we'll take that. And once again, okay, 666k here. Okay, you know what, we will definitely take this. This is actually my first time. This is my first impressions with running Phainon with Castorice, so yeah, never have done this before. Okay, the dogs are gonna go ahead and attack us. Oh, okay, we launch our follow-up attack now because the guy died to bleed damage. That's actually pretty funny. We can also go ahead and use our Meteor Strike here just to guarantee the kill technically, although I'm actually gonna go ahead and risk it with a basic attack. You know, our Phainon's a big boy here, so, you know, he can definitely get the job done. I'm pretty sure I still have Cyrydra's skill up. I'm hoping that I do. If not, that would be slightly awkward. Anyway, we go ahead and get our military merit stacks back. We can go ahead and use our double Meteor Strike now as well. Hopefully that will clear out some of the chickens. No, it doesn't, because Phainon's damage does drop off in AoE, unfortunately. So this isn't ideal for us. We're doing 642k, but this isn't going that far into the toughness. Okay, never mind. This guy's toughness bar is broken. I don't know how that happened. Okay, moment of truth. Do we go right back into our ultimate? Yes, we do. That is some aura right there. Thank you, Cyrene. And now we can go ahead and absolutely nuke this guy. Love to see that. He's going to go ahead and do some damage to us, but we're going to go ahead and live, of course, because we are Phainon with Cyrene. I love the fact that I actually really like what they've done with Cyrene and Phainon here. I actually wasn't expecting to enjoy this team without Sunday. I thought it would feel very slow. But if we can actually stay in our ultimate this whole time, then I actually don't think I would complain. You know, I think that there is a chance... Actually, wait. Heng might synergize very well with this new Phainon team when you think about it, because obviously he is refreshing his shield here, and although the shield doesn't look massive, it's the fact that it's because Phainon's HP bar is so massive here. So, you know, Heng's shielding actually is helping us to stay in our ultimate, because as you can see, basically every turn we take some extra damage. Also, this will be a double Meteor Strike here. This should absolutely destroy this guy's weakness bar. Yes, it does. Perfect. And this means that one basic attack, and then we actually might kill him with a second basic attack here. Okay, never mind, he lives on 1%. Shield refresh, and then we nuke him with the end of the world. We were going to go right back into our ultimate again. But there you go. We actually free cycled with Phainon, which is actually quicker than the 4th cycle I got using Cerydra as well as Sunday. Now that clear definitely could have been quickened up, but this one just felt a lot more comfortable and generally decently stronger. So actually, this might be my new favorite Phainon team. And you know, we don't have to deal with sustainers, so we don't have to deal with resetting. We don't have to deal with speed tuning. Yeah, this is actually just a really comfortable team. We also don't have to deal with SP management, because as soon as we get Cyrene's ultimate, we just go ahead and ult on our Phainon. So, yeah, I'm actually very pleased with how this went. But with that being said, let's just hop into the Mydei Run. Alright, and here we are with Mydei on the second half. Let's go ahead and use all of our stuff here. Now, I'm not sure if Cyrene is... I'm actually not sure what the best team here for Mydei is. I saw a team of Cyrene with RMC, which with the brand new RMC actually could be very strong. I just don't have... Like I said, I don't have the brand new RMC yet, so I can't test that out yet. There is also, obviously, the... Cyrene Tribute team as well. You could do Sunday Cyrene. You could do, if you're doing Cyrene, you could also do Hyperspeed Sunday at 160 with Phainon on HP boots, although that's probably not the easiest to run. You can also do Tribi with Mydei on HP boots as well. I'm not sure what the mathematically best setup is for Mydei, but this is the one we're going to go ahead and try. This is literally just slotting in Cyrene for what I think is Mydei, starting in Cyrene for Tribi, which I think is what Mydei's best in slow team was, at least my personal opinion. The reason why I think that HP boots might be slightly better with Cyrene is that obviously it will make your big nukes deal a lot more damage, and obviously Cyrene does make you trigger more of those big nukes, so having even more max HP instead of speed would be pretty damn nice. The difficult part about getting rid of Sunday is that obviously he gives you 20% crit rate and then also an insane amounts of damage as well as crit damage. One thing I'm curious about is, technically, would Dun Heng be a decent option in this team? Also, there we go, our Mydei is a beast, so he goes ahead and just revives. But could Dun Heng PT actually be decent in this team? Because he would allow you to get Sunday's full damage buff, you'd get decent sustain, and then also Mydei tends to heal himself a bit. Now the problem is, I know some of Mydei's damage is based on his current HP, so it's not ideal, but let's stop waffling for a second because Cyrene is ulting. I don't think I will ever get over that ult animation. But yeah, we do get all of our energy back as well, which is nice for us. Now we're going to go ahead and support our Mydei, so he's going to straight ahead go ahead and launch his big enhanced attack, and we're going to go ahead and ultimate, and hopefully this finishes off the first battle, which it does. Okay, perfect. And now we are up against this big guy. Now let's go ahead and ult on Cyrene's turn. This basically gives us a ult extension of 1 turn. We also, since all of our team is full HP, we can just go ahead and Q, because we don't need any healing. And now we can go ahead and use Cyrene's ultimate again on our Mydei. Obviously, like I said, her ult automatically works on Hyacine every time you ult on her. It's useless on Sunday, so all we have to do is just keep on feeding it into our Mydei. Go ahead and also, I want to see our stats right now. Yeah, we have 105 crit rate to 316 crit damage. It is difficult to justify getting rid of Sunday in my opinion, and I do feel like Sunday is just best in the 134 speed setups. But then, like I said, if you're able to have a hyper speed Sunday, I also think that HP boots on Mydei would actually work decently well as well. Although that's just my personal opinion, so you know, I'm not too certain. Anyway, we do get our ultimate again on Cyrene, which is actually pretty nice for us. This will end up giving us a lot more God saves in battle. I remember when I first saw Cyrene's buff for Mydei, I thought it was absolutely horrible. But now that I'm kind of playing with it and realizing that we only need to use it on Mydei, and how fast you can get her ultimate as well sometimes, I actually think it's pretty damn strong, all things considered. Like I said, is it stronger than Tribi? I don't know because I didn't try Tribi out yet. I feel like it would be, although, like I said, I'm not 100% certain. If you have E1 Tribi, I can imagine the team would be E1 Tribi and Cyrene, maybe in place of Sunday, or maybe you just run E1 Tribi instead of Cyrene. But at E0S0, I actually think that maybe Cyrene is the better option here. Anyway, 226k there on the ult, 383k here on the enhanced skill. And then, of course, the Cyrene ones deal a bit more, deal some more damage because she also gives some additional crit damage, I'm pretty sure. Okay, never mind. I thought our Mydei was gonna revive her, but he ends up not needing to. This guy's gonna get weakness broken soon, which is nice for us. Let's just go ahead and heal up our team a bit, hoping that Mydei does not die here. Although if he does, it is literally, it matters basically not at all. So okay, he's gonna go ahead and launch a nice enhanced basic attack there for 320, or enhanced skill there for 322k there. And now let's see how much we deal when this guy's weakness broken as well. 624k, we take those. And then we go for a skill, 165k. We action forward again using Sunday, 160k. And we can probably finish this off with our Ika. Yes, we can. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and use Mydei's ultimate as a form of weakness break as well, which is pretty important against this boss. I will say, I don't think this is the perfect boss for Mydei, because I think you do quite want shielding. Although I'm not all that sure, to be honest. I just kind of feel like when Mydei does go down, that it just ends up not really mattering. So yeah, maybe this is actually a very good boss for Mydei. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely better than Flame Reaver is, I would say. There you definitely would want to run a Tribi. So yeah, I feel like definitely in off element, Tribi would be better than Cyrene, but I don't think you really want to run Mydei in off element anyway. Okay, let's just go ahead, and Mydei's gonna get guillotined, rest in peace. Oh look, he's right back up. That's just Mydei for you. Okay, 164k damage there, which is nice. This guy has gone down so many times this battle. We just love Mydei, and we love our Cyrene in this team. The question is, how many cycles will we clear in? we do get our ult again on Cyrene. Okay, Ika goes. Our Mydei is now at about half HP as well. So yeah, I feel like Hyacine. Actually, no, Hyacine also gives you the max HP. She's always going to be better than Heng in these teams. Although it's a question of would Lowocha be better in this team, or would Heng be better in this team if you want to use Hyacine on your first half. That's a more interesting question in my opinion. Okay, anyway, 164k there on the ult. Once we use our skill here, I believe, yep, okay, 65k. Okay, we're 4% off. That's a bit unfortunate, but as soon as this guy takes action, then he will be dealing damage to us. Let's go ahead and heal up one more time. Hyacine's healing isn't as important in a Mydei team as it is in something like a Castorice team. Anyway, this guy is now down, so we can go ahead and use our ult on Cyrene, and now Mydei will be dealing 539k there on that basic attack, and now we can go ahead and use his Godslayer again with Cyrene, and now this is gonna end up being, let's see, 539k as well. Once again, lovely, perfect. So yeah, we were hitting for about 540k there, and Mydei actually doesn't get buffed from this MOC, unlike Castorice. I'm pretty sure it mostly affects with mouse sprite damage. So yeah, actually 4 cycles on Mydei at the end of Amphoris. You know what? We'll take that. I think he's holding on pretty well. I think Cyrene's a decent teammate for him, and even if she isn't that much of an upgrade over Tribute, you can now run Mydei on one half as well as Castorice on the other half without overlapping teammates, or Evernight on the other half as well if you wish. So yeah, I'm actually very happy with how that went. And with that being said, let's move on to the character builds as well as outro and some final thoughts. Well then, when it comes to how the teams performed, I am very, very pleasant with how all of these Cyrene teams performed. Mydei, I did not think would be above 5 cycles. Although, hey, you know what? Very pleasant surprise. And like I said, probably even the bigger benefit for Mydei is that you can use him as well as Castorice literally on the same 2 sides. So if we wanted to, for example, we could do a team of, let's say, Casto, Evernight as well as Cyrene. Wherever Evernight is, there we go. And then we could go, for example, something like this, which is also one of Mydei's best teams. So yeah, I actually think this is the biggest benefit of Cyrene's existence, which is very nice for Mydei. Phainon, I actually found that team to be both stronger than the Sunday variant, as well as just easier to play, to be honest, because you just stayed in his ultimate basically the entire time. I'm also sure you can do some crazy no sustain comps as well, which will definitely skyrocket Phainon's damage, but even in these teams, I am happy with how our Phainon performed. And then, of course, Castorice was just incredibly insane. Like I said, wasn't a huge improvement over Tribby in this specific MOC, but I feel like in future ones it will be. But with that being said, let's go ahead and speed through some character builds real quick. 7.7k HP, slow for powered set, 70% crit, so that this becomes over 100 with powered set, 174 crit damage, which will become about 300% in battle as well. On the Gotcha Remembrance led, Contrace is maxed out on the basic attack, powered set, just getting as much double crit without overcapping as we can. And then, like I said, also the bone set, and then E0, of course. When it comes to Cyrene herself, over 6k HP, over 180 speed, 50% crit rate, so it becomes 100% in battle, 104% crit damage, but this will get buffed by other supports, e.g. Evernight, Hyacine, stuff like that. So this will end up being over 200% as well. Hemiko Latcom, because it is the highest base HP Latcom we have. Trace is maxed out basically, and then we are 2p speed so that we can hit that 180 threshold. Crit rate so that we can hit the 50% crit rate threshold, and then on Von Wax so that we can act 3 times in the first cycle, just getting as much HP as we can. Eidolon's E0. Then for our Evernight, 7.3k, 7.2k max HP, on base speed basically, 58% crit rate, which will become just, actually wait, no wait, sorry, this is actually the slightly wrong build. I was trying out a DPS build here. It's actually on these boots, so that we have 67% crit because she gives herself 35% crit, so this will end up being over 100 in battle, and then basically 180 crit damage as well, which once again will be like 300-ish crit damage in battle as well. Also, Himiko Lightcon, because these are the 2 highest base HP Lightcons we have on our account. Trace is fully maxed out. Relics, we are finally on the brand new set, double crit damage with crit rate, HP with crit rate so that we can hit that 65. And then if I were to run her as a DPS with RMC, this would swap out 2 boots with crit damage on them. And then once again on the bone set, double crit as well as crit damage there as well. And then E0, and then Hyacine, over 5k HP, over 200 speed, nearly 100% crit damage. She's on the S5 Hertastore Lightcon. Her speed requirement is higher than that of Cyrene, which is why I decided to give her this Lightcon instead of 2 Cyrene. Trace is basically maxed out. Warrior got a set to give our entire team some crit damage as well. And just making sure we hit the thresholds of 200 speed as well as 5k HP and then get as much crit damage as we can. Eidolon's E0 when it comes to Phainon, 85% crit rate, which will become basically 100% once Cyrene goes, and then 185% crit damage. This will once again be a bit over 300 as well. Full of a Neon, S5 Traces max out, Relics, double crit rate, crit damage, double crit, Retail and Arena because I didn't bother farming the new set. Eidolon's E0, Don Heng PT, 3.2k attack, 142 speed. Other than that, a lot of these stats don't matter. But highest attack Lightcon I have, Traces basically maxed out on the brand new Preservation set. Penacony for the extra E0R. Let's see, who else is there? There's also the issue of Mydei. 37% crit rate will become 100% when you factor in his self buff as well as Sunday. 145 speed, Sunday is one slower than Sunday. 168% crit damage will go up even more in battle. S5 Secret Vow. Trace is basically maxed out. Scholar set, just getting as much crit rate until threshold and then maxing out crit damage as well as his HP. Eidolon's E0 when it comes to Sunday, like I said, 134 speed, 235 ER as well as 134 speed as I mentioned. S1 Bronya Lightcon, Sacrados as well, just a speed threshold and then as much crit damage as we can. Penacony also nice for ER on Sunday as well as a damage bonus on Mydei. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that actually wait, we also have Cerydra, 3.3k attack, 140 speed. Well, other than that, that's basically all that matters. S5's Event Lightcon, and then Traces mostly maxed out Sacrados as well. A little bit of extra crit damage for our Phainon and on Nushaka as well, so he gets a bit of extra attack percentage. And Eidolon's E0. So yeah, that's it for all our character builds. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you're finding Cyrene. I'm personally enjoying her so much right now. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.